Hello everyone, welcome to A Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. I wanted to show you guys something that I find kind of interesting. I think I told you before in other videos that I was scraping, just using my finger and rubbing the inside of that aquarium, rubbing the algae off. But I noticed, I just came up to finish up putting the weights, making the weights for those tanks. And I just happened to glance over here and look at these fish, and I can clearly see, I don't know how well this is going to show up on the video. I'll try to zoom in and maybe you guys can see what I'm seeing. They are hanging right along the side of that tank, and they're eating that algae right off the side of the tank. Zoom in a little more. I have no idea what I'm filming here, but I just wanted you guys to see this. I think it's just cool. And they're not just doing it on that one side, they're doing it over here too. And I'm going to go around to the other side and see if they're doing it on the side where I had scraped it off. My guess is they are not, because there isn't any over there. But we're going to see. And they're not. But here on this side, they are. So guess what, guys? Other than this one side here that I will keep clean so that I can see into it, I'm not going to clean the sides of this tank. Now, I did just feed them a minute ago, so there is food still up here on top. It's not like they're starving, but what it is like is that they just prefer that algae. Again, I don't know what I'm filming. I don't know if I've scared them all off or not. I do need to do a water exchange this evening. I've got my little siphon cup there ready. I did a water exchange yesterday. I do a water exchange every day. I take it down to about this strengthening rib, and I try to get as much of the stuff off the bottom as I can. I'm gonna take the advice. I think it might have been Piranha Mike who just said take a piece of this line and hook a stick to it, a long stick, like maybe one of these, and use it so I can control it and just siphon off the bottom. And that way I can really be careful so that I don't siphon up any of the fry with it, because I can control the siphon with my other finger that's outside the tank. So I'm going to endeavor this afternoon when I do a water exchange to really get as much gunk out of the bottom of this tank as I can, and I'll finish this video up then. Alright, I've got most of the water drained out. This is about how far I drain it down. And just from siphoning it out, this side of the tank is considerably cleaner than that. So what I'm going to do, I was thinking about using the old stick, the straw with a stick, but I don't have anything handy to attach it with, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to film this to where you can see it. I doubt it, but at least I'm going to get it started, and then maybe I can one-hand it. Alright, so I've got it going, and maybe you guys can see what I'm doing now. Cleaning sludge off the bottom. Alright, well that's as far as I'm going to do it. I got maybe half the bottom of the tank cleaned out of the excess feed anyway. The algae I'm going to leave. So I'm going to get some water back in there for these guys. And that's an excellent way to, I forget, maybe it was Piranha Mike that suggested that, I can't remember. I have it all but this little corner over here, and I'll do that next time. Alright, well there they are. Nice new clean tank. Well, not a new clean tank, but a cleaner tank. The water exchange doesn't seem to hurt them because it does go into our big 3,000 gallon water tank first, what comes out of the well, and so it's in that tank for 4, 6, 8, 12 hours before it comes out of the faucet. So I've never had any kind of a problem with just draining it almost dry and filling it all the way back up. I'm going to come out tonight when it's dark and show you guys something that I was kind of panicked for like 2 seconds. Last night or night before last, I can't remember when, I came out after dark to check on things, and I'm going to show you guys something pretty dang interesting. Alright, I'm going to gingerly make my way down here because I am barefoot. I bought the materials to put a light in here. Probably put it right above that aquarium. It's going to be tomorrow's wiring project. I bought the materials for lights for here by the breeding tanks, and since I've started the aeration, I'm using that one electrical line down there, so I've got a splitter, and I'm going to put more lights in down there. So let's see if they're doing it again. Yep. So look in there, guys. They're all just hanging around, hanging out down on the bottom. And when I came out a few nights ago and saw that, I'm going, what in the heck? What's happened to all my fish? But I guess they're just sleeping. Resting, sleeping, I don't know, because it doesn't really look like they're eating. They're just laying there hanging out. So I had no idea that fish slept, because this is the only time that they do it. Now see, the light is stirring them up. But maybe you can see now just how many that I was able to hatch out. That's a pretty solid mass of little fish in there. So I don't know how many, I really don't know how many we hatched. 100, 150, somewhere in there. That bottom is almost covered. So again, I'm so pleased at how this hatching with my homemade tumbler is working, and look forward to now the next aquarium that I've got. I'm going to put, I think I can fit 3 tumblers in it, and I think if I hatch the fry only, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up one of the tumblers, put eggs in it, and hatch them. And so it'll. What I'm going to do is experiment with just having them a week apart. What I'm going to do after they hatch is, because I can't really remember how big these guys were at a week. But if there's not that much of a size difference, then I'll put 2 weeks worth in the same aquarium. Now, as funds permit, I'm going to get another aquarium. I'd like to have three aquariums. If I can only do this one at a time, like hatch out one little batch of eggs. These are, I've got to go back and check and see how old these are. These are about, what, 10 days old now? If I've got to leave them in here until they're like a month old, and that's what I'm thinking, then I'll need 4 aquariums to do a weekly egg harvest and hatch. And coming this Saturday, I'll only have 2. And it's going to be another month until I can get another one. So I'm going to try to figure out if I can if I can hatch them 2 weeks worth in one aquarium. But if they look too large after 1 week, if the ones that hatched the week before look too large, then can't do it. I've just got to catch the eggs every other week and do the best that I can. Alrighty then. I wonder if I can see any shrimp in here. I was pretty surprised that the shrimp were still in here, and yet I didn't see any. They just must be hanging out on the bottom and feeding on the bottom. When we first put them in here, they were up on the top. There's a little fry right there that we couldn't get out because there's just too much sediment in this. There's probably, well, there was at least 1 hatch of fry in here, so there were a couple hundred fry in this. They're tiny little guys. I'm thinking that there was a female, because remember when I made that video of me and Tata catching these and harvesting the eggs, I had thought there was 1 or 2 fish still in this that we didn't catch. And I figured, well, we checked 30 females and only found 2 with eggs. What are the odds that if there's 1 or 2 left in there, they'll have eggs? Well, of course, they did. One of them did. There was still a female in here that had eggs in her mouth. Because these little fry are the same size as the ones in the aquarium. So they were hatched within a day or 2 of each other. Yep, I don't see the shrimp at all. They must be down on the bottom. So far, they haven't done anything to clean the water. Because I did about a 50% water exchange day before yesterday, because it was looking bad. All right, that's going to end it up. The mosquitoes are after me. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.